Hello and welcome back to Triplicate, home of interesting electronics. Now my partner and I, we have a narrowboat called Bonnie Mary, which you can see in the picture. In the picture she's just been painted, so we haven't got the name painted back on the side yet. And narrowboats go on English canals which go through tunnels sometimes. So you have to have a light to see where you're going when you're going through the tunnel, and this is the tunnel light, which as you can guess is not on the boat. Now this originally had a car head type headlight in with an incandescent bulb and a reflector and a lens to shape the light beam. Unfortunately it got water in it and the reflector was made of chromed steel and rotted away, so I decided what we actually needed was an LED light. Now I have an LED light, that one, which is made by Britax, which I use as a work light on the boat, and it emits plenty of light, does the job, but it looks a bit not very Canal. And you can get these, and they sell them as Canal boat lights, and they're all like this. They're all a black lump and some LEDs on the front. So I wanted to stick with a nice brass light, so I made my own LED light to fit in the brass shell, and I'll just turn the camera off at this point and take this apart because I don't think I can do it with one hand, and show you what's in there. So we have a round aluminium plate which fits in the shell, and on the front we have 12, quick count up, 12 LEDs bought off eBay, and on the back those are stuck down with double-sided thermal conductive tape, and on the back we have two little driver boards, each driving 6 of the LEDs, which were designed and built by me. They even have, here we go, can we get the camera to focus? Yep, they even say Triplicate on the bottom. There you go, and those are those little switch mode surface mount boards. And it worked fine for a time, but then I think I'll turn you off again while I connect things up. Right, so here it is powered up, and you can see this half is driven by one board and this half is driven by the other, and this half is a bit dim and flickery, you can probably see, and this half is very dim and very flickery. Not sure how well that comes out on the camera. And if we it must have got worse. No, I can't. At one time, if you poke the right LED, they will all come back on. And let's zoom in on, if we can zoom in on that one. As you can see, it looks a bit black and burnt. And that's the problem. I think the LEDs still work, it's just the connections, the contacts have gone because all the plastic's melted, because basically it's all got a bit too hot. This thin sheet of aluminium is not good enough as a heatsink. So, what should we do about it? Well, I was replacing some bulbs in the house, specifically I think one of those, and I thought, what about these? 12 volts put out lots of light. Can we fit 3 of these into the headlight shell? Okay, first up, shall we see what these do? If they're any good. Are they good enough for the job? So we'll connect one up and try not to shine it straight at, shine it at the desk. So those put out plenty of light, and 3 of those will put out, I think, plenty of light for our purposes. By way of comparison, should we try and see what this one does? That's very bright, that I know, but yeah, I think we're going to be okay with 3 of those in there. Right, I'll turn that off. Right. Blind you. Okay. So the next question is, can we fit 3 of these in here? So let's try. Oh, that's another one. That's a dead one of another sort. So the answer is, I think, with a little persuasion, we will be able to. The next question is, will these stand what is effectively an automotive application? When the engine's running, which is generally is while we're in a tunnel, the voltage is nearly 15 volts, and there's all sorts of spikes and things on the power. I'm tempted just to try. However, these certainly aren't going to fit down as they are, so we're going to hack the back off and modify all this so the electronics fit in the back. So should we chop one of these apart? One big advantage of these being is they're dead cheap, so we can afford to chop one up and throw it away if needs be. So shall we do that? So let's try and get this apart. Now this bit is loose, so that should make the job easier. Can't see any screws to undo, but that turns and that unscrews. That comes out. That, hang on, to try and get that so you can see, that moves. So I need, oops, wrong way. Try the end of a pair of tweezers. See if we can, oh, out she comes. That is glued onto there with what looks and feels like thermally conductive stuff. Does this come out? Nope. Are you sure? Small screwdriver. Now that, I would guess, is silver coloured, so I would guess that is part of this, which is silver plastic. So okay, so let's go in the bottom here. That looks like it's clipped in. Shall we? Brute force and ignorance. That's looking good. There we go. So we have some sort of a driver amidst some horrible looking tape. Those wires go to the pins, and those wires go to the LEDs. Should we unwrap this tape? Feels like, oh, packing tape stuck to a to cut through the cable. Yeah, horrible tape. Let's see if we can focus the camera in on this little PCB and see what is on it. As much light as we can get on it. No. Talk amongst yourselves. So we have a little chip. We have a resistor and a capacitor. That would appear to be it. Dark energy. Right, I will try and find out what that little chip is. And oh no. On the other side we have 4 diodes. That's a bridge rectifier because these can be plugged in either way. We have an inductor, 470. I think that's nanohenries, and a little diode. There we go. Right, so I will turn you off, endeavour to find out what that chip is. I don't think, but it'd be amazing if the camera will. Nope, the camera won't. I will endeavour to find out what that chip is and bring you back. Right, so I wedged the board down against the scanner and scanned it at the highest resolution, and to be fair also got my microscope out and looked at it, and there's some very faint writing on there which says BF1, no sorry, it says BP1371. So I googled that and got a lot of brake shoes for BMWs, which is not what we wanted, but I did find one reference to an LED driver chip. There we go. Comments please, translation in the comments please, because I can't read a word of that. However, it does say at the top 40 volts 1.2 amps, which is promising, and there's a circuit, example circuit, which says 5 to 30 volts. Okay, we're only running it off 12, so we're not going to get up to 30. And that's how you wire it up. And if we go down here, that's the package, and that's certainly the one with that tab on. That's presumably a heat sink, and it's got a dimmer as well. Wonderful. And that's what the pins do. Good. And packaging, bpsemi.com apparently make it, presumably in China. So the result is, I think we are in with the chance. I think these will work okay in our application, so I propose to bash on and dismember another couple and see what we need to do to modify them to fit in the headlamp shell. Okay, so I've stripped down the 3 bulbs we're going to use, and we've got 3 rings that hold the lenses in. We've got 3 lenses, one of which has gone onto the floor. We've got 3 mounting things, heat sinks, which I think are metal. We've got 3 lots of LEDs, which I have unsoldered from the 3 driver boards which I've left on the plastic bulb ends, but I'll remove eventually. And I discovered these, having chiselled the first one out, these just unscrew from these. So I am now going to, we've also got a collection of horrible tape which I'm going to throw in the bin. So we have somehow attached these 3 into there, which I shall need to get rid of this first and have a think about it and bring you back. Well, I've done it, but I'm not happy with it. So I think I might try something different. But since this video is starting to ramble on a bit, I think I will finish this video here and continue at a later date on another video, just to keep you on tenterhooks. So that's it for now from Triplicate, home of interesting electronics. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and a comment if you've got anything to say, and I'll see you next time. Bye.